Howdy ho, guys and gals. Welcome back to Sunday Night Tool Talk Live. Well, tonight we're not talking tools per se. We're talking family road trip. Yeah, we're going to do the epic family road trip this summer. At least 2 weeks on the road. Pray for me. Sorry, I was trying to I got a fan running. I was trying to listen to see if the levels on the fan are affecting the live stream. Let's see where we're at with this. Oh, that's not what I want. Something interesting's going on here, though. What is all this? It says I'm live. It says it's public. There we go. For some reason, I got viewers, but it's not giving me any of the data. That's weird. Anyway, cheap reviews in the house. Slinger Secret Laboratory, Mike Adams, Joe Schmo, and David Tronsko. Hopefully I got that right there. Tronsko. I'm live early. How was it early? I thought it was supposed to be 5 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock when we're in Nevada, and so I'm early. I don't know. I might be early. I don't know. Did I set the time wrong? Who knows? You know, we're professionals around here. Don't try this at home, kids. I'm a pro. Anyway, let me get things back and organized. There we go. Now it wasn't giving me any data there for a minute. Oh, the joys of YouTube. So anyway, it's summer. It's July. You know, I already got ads. Did you get ads yet? I got ads. Oh, wait, I don't have the hat on. There we go. Did you get ads yet for back to school summer savings? We're not even into August. Of course, my son, who goes to school down in the Vegas area, he goes back to school like the end of the first week of August. First of all, that's a crime. All right. They get out like June 1st. So they get June, July, and essentially that's it. And then they're back. I mean, for me, used to be as a kid, we'd get out at the end of May and we'd start like the first week or so of September. You got the full summer. You got solid 3 months off. There's no logical reason why we can't be doing that other than the fact that the teachers union wants to make more money. That's the only thing I can come up with why we need to add an extra month in there. Anyway, that said, 4 p.m. Nevada. It should be 6. I told the wife. And she's like, oh no, it has. I was right. I'm going to do my little I told you so dance when I get home. I'll be sleeping on the couch, but it will be worth it. Anyway, I knew it was early. I knew it. Oh, I'm so good. Anyway, the missus isn't here tonight because she has gluten poisoning. It's a thing. So she's got Crohn's and has developed a gluten intolerance over the years. Essentially, the less of it she eats, the more it bothers her. But the more she feels better when she doesn't eat it. And something got contaminated she ate last night, and she just almost went to the hospital. She was so miserable and so much pain last night. She's doing better today, but she feels like she fought, Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield at the same time last night. So I think she's probably in bed watching this, cursing me for saying that she was wrong. Anyway, let's see here. Who else is here? Jason B. Hey, Jason, how you doing? Says Joe says, I'm watching on 2 accounts. My second account, I let the commercials play though. Thank you. That's really nice. Futon02 says, evening, everyone. Hey, Futon, how you doing, man? Mater's Workshop in the house. Normal time is 7 Central. See, I knew it. Cheap Review says, I'm scared of her. You're on your own. She's small but dangerous. Futon says, hoping Miss DeBear feels better. Me too. Thank you, Slinger. And Joe, yeah, I'm sure she'll bounce back. This happens before. Every once in a while she gets into something she shouldn't have. Her and, well, I was going to say the dog, but I wouldn't say that because that would be inappropriate. All right, so guess what we get to do? We got this thing that comes up. So for those of you who don't know, we have a mixed family, as it were. So my ex-wife, my oldest son is from my previous marriage and lives with my ex-wife down in the Vegas area. And, but, and then we just, came to terms with the whole, like, split family kind of thing. I had I growing up, I never liked the idea of, like stepsisters or half sis brothers. And so like, it all seemed kind of crazy. And, it was really hard on my ex-wife when my son was calling Jesse, my current wife, mom. And of course that's what he's going to do because he's just a little boy. And he's like, if you're a mom-like figure, he's going to look at you and be like, Mom, I love you, Mom, this. And it hurt her until we finally came to a reconciliation of, then our kids, Jesse and my second, our two kids wanted to call her mom, and that freaked her out. And finally we all came around to it and like, it's all just one family and we're here for the kids. We need to be the adults and be like, whatever, as long as the kids are happy and healthy and it's promoting a loving environment, we should encourage it. So now they're all like, they call both the moms. They have a co-mom kind of situation. They're super sweet and nice to each other. Just saw the most beautiful text message. My son's birthday was yesterday, and Amanda, my ex-wife, sent the lovingest message to my current wife. It's weird. Yes, it's odd, but you know what? You get over it because, again, for the kids. All that long way of saying Amanda, the first wife, her family has a lake house in Indiana. So it's one of the things that doesn't often get used, and it needs some work. So a bunch of the families coming together to go up there, spend a couple weeks there and work on the house. Great. Duncan wanted to know if Griffin could come. And we said, sure, why not? That'd be a lot of fun for him to go and hang out. And I looked at him like, let's see, I'm going to fly Griffin down there. Then we're going to fly him to, I'm like, by the time I spend all that much money, I could have driven there, gotten a hotel for, like 5 days and driven back. And a light bulb went off and I'm like, oh, road trip. And if you know me, I am always down for a road trip. Unless I just did like a huge road trip, in which case I need a couple days, but then I'll be down for a road trip again. And so here's what we're doing. We're planning a road trip. We're going to drive the four of us out to Indiana and ditch the kids, or at least one of the kids. I want to get rid of both, but we don't know if the little girl's going to actually do any work. She can be kind of a slug at times. Sometimes she's great. Sometimes she's like straight slug. We're going to see. So if we can, we're going to ditch it. I'm going to do everything I can to ditch her. And then, then the wife and I are going to go off and have a couple's vacation. Wouldn't that be something? Worst case scenario, we, sell the little girl off in to the Amish. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to drive down to Indiana. We're going to drive from here to Chicago. Spend a couple days in Chicago because I've been promising the wife and the girl a couple days in Chicago. We did it 2 years ago, but it was in the middle of February. Wasn't a lot of fun. So I'm like, okay, it's summer. We're going to do summertime in Chicago. Maybe Taste of Chicago will go on. Who knows? Maybe we'll see a Cubs game. We'll see. Anyway, point is, we're going to go do that, spend a couple days in Chicago, then go over to Indiana, spend a couple days there hanging out with the fam, maybe help a little bit. Then we're going to skedaddle. And we don't know where we're going to go yet. I'm like, maybe we go to New York. My first thought was, I want to go and do the coast of Michigan, West Coast. I absolutely love the West Coast of Michigan. But now we're like, maybe we'll go to New York. Maybe we'll go to, Pigeon Forge. Maybe we'll go to Nashville or Memphis or something like that. Toledo, who knows? So if you got ideas in that area, and here's the problem. I spend a lot of time, I'm from the Midwest. I grew up mostly in Iowa and Nebraska. I spent a lot of time in Chicago. I lived in Cincinnati and the Northern Kentucky area for about 10 years. I lived in Indiana for 4 years. So I've been to a lot of the places in that area. Now the wife hasn't, of course, but I've been there. So for me, it's not as exciting kind of stuff. I don't mind taking her someplace that'll be fun and exciting or for her, even if I've been there, but I'm trying to look for something that could be new for both of us. So let me go back to the comments here. I know I've missed a whole bunch here. The Michael Gardner says, hello from Reno. Mike says, we used to go back in September, but that's changed to the second week of August. Now it's the first week first week, it's ridiculous the time that this whole push for year-round school. There was a time where I'm like, you know what? Year-round school wouldn't be such a bad idea. Kids don't need year-round school. They just don't. Unless it's more like homeschool, in which case you're always in school. Everything's a teachable moment, but you're also not in school. It's kind of a weird thing, but it's cool. Kurt says, Cincinnati Kurt wishing Mrs. Bear the best. Oh, I'm going to get me some chili. I am getting some chili. There's some in South Bend. I will be going and getting some Cincinnati chili. That will be a thing. If I can get some Mets and some chili. I'm actually not a fan of graters, but Mets and chili, maybe a Little King. Oh yeah, get some. Might have to swing through Cincinnati. That would be nice. I could do that. Let's see here. What else? Love is love. Thank you. It is. It's, we're really blessed that we can get past the whole thing with the divorce and all that and come out to this place of healing. And it's so much stronger, and we're always happy to help support her. And she's great with the kids and supporting what we do. And it's just, you just really just sit back and go like, wow, God has really looked down upon this family and smiled. And we're really lucky and blessed for what we have. Road trip to Indiana via Texas sounds nice. Mayor, I tried to figure out a way to make Texas work. Trust me, I'll be honest. I tried to figure out a way to make New Orleans work. And I couldn't. That's right next to Texas. So, Joe says, I mentioned before, I own a small restaurant in Nebraska. If you're ever driving through, well, Nebraska's a decent sized state, brother. You got to tell me, are you Panhandle, Central, Eastern? I actually, maybe on the way back, we might. I love Nebraska. All right. I lived in Nebraska. I love Nebraska. Anybody has any ideas, if you don't put it in comments, stuff, you want to put details or send me details stuff, you can send me an email at red@denoftools.com. That's my everyday email. And I read everything that anybody sends me. Might as well go to New Jersey and see real life. I've been to Jersey, brother. I got my first tattoo in Jersey in, what was it, Middlesex? And I've been to the Jersey Shore, Somerville, Bridgewater area. I've driven all over Jersey. I did have a thought about doing the Jersey Shore, but that is expensive. Man, nobody has any idea how expensive the Jersey Shore can get. At least it was back in the day. I remember the first time I went to Jersey and I pulled into a McDonald's and the microphone on the drive-thru comes up and the dude's like, yo, what you want? And I'm like, wow, this really is Jersey. Let's see. Cheap Review says, I'm in Reno also. Reno? Wait, I didn't think you were in Reno. For some reason, I thought you were down south. Jason says, honestly, the Up is my favorite part of Michigan. Chicago is definitely a fun place to visit. Yeah, the Oopers. I thought about that. I don't know where to go. And the one thing the wife doesn't want to do, because I have a habit of doing this, is they call them death march vacations. I like to go to a place, stay there for a day, then drive another place, stay there for a day, then drive another place to stay there for a day. She doesn't want any of that. She wants to go on one place, stay there the whole time. Then we're going to go back, spend a couple days in Indiana, pick the kids up and head back. So it's going to be like a split vacation. We're going to drive to Chicago, spend 2 days, go to Indiana, spend 2 days. Then we're going to go off for like a week, then come back for 2 days and then head back home. Tom says, thinking about doing a road trip from Virginia to Utah in December. Ooh, December. I did half that trip. I did Indiana. I did Montana to Indiana back down to Vegas in first week of February. And that is a desolate time to travel. It really is. If you're going to do that, you want to swing as far south as you possibly can. Holy Carmod says, Pigeon Forge is a lot of fun. Dollywood is a place to go as well while you're down there. I would feel bad about going to Dollywood without the kids. I just went to Disney with the 2 boys, and I almost got murdered by the wife and the daughter. And if I went to Dollywood and Disney in the same year without my daughter, I think I might be looking for a new home. Tried Pittsburgh, PA. Nice city to explore and see a game. Oh, Pittsburgh sucks, dude. Pittsburgh's terrible. Who would want to go to Pittsburgh? Joking. I used to live in Cincinnati. It's a Pittsburgh, Cincinnati thing. Actually, Pittsburgh's a cool town. Jason said, I don't know if I can sell the wife on, hey, let's go to Pittsburgh. You might also consider going from Michigan up into Canada and drop down into New York. I did think about that. Now, unfortunately, the only time I've been to, so in Canada, I've been to Western Canada. We went to Alberta and British Columbia. Gorgeous. Can't recommend it enough. I love the people in Alberta, like we call it Montana North or North Montana. But the only time I've been in the eastern side of Michigan was on a Friday or Saturday night. We went from Detroit over into Windsor with a bunch of the guys when we were like 22 years old. If you've been to that area, you know what happened. And that's my only recollection of that area. I looked at some videos at Toronto. I thought Toronto would be exciting, and Toronto did not look all that intriguing. Now, Quebec and Ottawa, I would love to go up and see that, see the walled city and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's too far of a drive. It was like 13 hours or something. The Mike says, what's your opinion of the Herc cordless recip saw? Mike, we're talking travel, not. Better corded or cordless? My Chicago Electric bit the dust last night. What could I have hardware? Oh my gosh, did it really? Finally, huh? So I have the Herc. I think I've got the regular brushed, and look, you can see them right there. I've got the regular brushed and I've got the brushless, and they're good saws. My take on recip is always this. Unless you have a specific reason that you don't need, how am I saying this right? Unless you have a specific reason to need cordless, you should always go with corded. Okay. If you're going to go with cordless, the brushless one is a solid saw. Is it the best recip saw I've ever used? Cordless? No, the best recip saw I've ever used is the Flex. And I started in construction doing a lot of demo stuff with recip saws. I was a fanboy of the Milwaukee recip saw for the longest time. I thought Milwaukee always made the best saw. The Flex is the best saw. Is the Herc as good as the Milwaukee? No. Is it a solid everyday use budget pro saw? Yes. If I was going to get a corded one, I would probably look at Skill. There's been some great deals on Skill. Although we got Prime Day. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing a 24-hour live stream on Prime Day. I'm going to be in this seat for 24 hours. Well, the missus is going to come and spell me for a little bit here and there so I can go and take care of stuff. But 24 hours. So, and we're going to be covering a lot of tools. So stay tuned to that. David says, some school districts have switched to a 4-day school week. State of Vermont, where I am, has been looking at this. I think 4 days was 9 months out of the year. 10, yeah, 4 days, 9. I think work should be 4 days a week. If you can't get it done in 4 days, that 5th day isn't going to help you. How about some Mets, brats, and Geta? Oh, Geta! That's it. I forgot about the Geta. I knew there was something else, but the brats I can get anywhere. I can get good brats anywhere. Mets you can't find outside the Cincinnati area. They're in fact, you can't even find them in Germany, because in Germany it's all Metwurst. And Mets are a Cincinnati German thing, but only in the Cincinnati area. So Mets, I'm going to be bringing the electric cooler freezer thing. So I'm going to be coming back with Mets. I'm going to Geta. I forgot about Geta. Going to have to get some Geta. Probably some a flat, a Skyline chili, and pass on the Grater's ice cream. It always tastes like it had sawdust in it. I'm not a fan of Grater's. Trying to think. Oh, Frisch's. We're gonna take the wife to Frisch's Big Boys, and go down to Zapp's Cafe in Mount Lookout. If you've not been to Zapp's Cafe in Mount Lookout, you don't know what a Zapp Burger is, and you're missing out. Got my first tattoo in New Jersey too. Small world. I'm across the river from Philly. Awesome. Oh, you know what? Speaking of across the river, that's one of my favorite areas. Just north of there. Maybe a good bit north, is New Hope. cute little tourist town. Absolutely love. Bought my wife's wedding ring in New Hope. Joe says restaurant is a barbecue spot in Omaha. You know what? I think we can probably swing through Omaha on the way back. I didn't get a chance to take the wife by where I went to high school and stuff, which is over near Boys Town. So probably will swing through Omaha. Send me the information again, and we'll try and schedule a visit. Jason says, last one for travel. If you swing through the Twin Cities on your way east, it'll take you to a great taco place. We should be. In fact, the plan is to hit from here. We're going to do a hard drive from here to Fargo, spend the night in Fargo, then do another hard drive to through the Twin Cities, over to Milwaukee, and then down into Chicago. I like to drive from the north side into Chicago. I feel like I can bypass all the other crap around Chicago, get to the part where I want to go. NC has mountains and beaches. North Carolina is a beautiful state. I'm a bit more partial to South Carolina, although the best crab cakes I ever had was at a gas station not too far from the coast in North Carolina. And it was in the middle of nowhere, and it was this old white Victorian-esque looking farmhouse with a gas station built in front of it. And the old lady was cooking up crab cakes on the porch. Oh my gosh, they were so good. Cheap Reviews said, Darren said Pigeon Forge, tool stores, and Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Oh, that's a great idea. Cheap Reviews says we are going full-time RV soon. Nice. That's awesome. Going to do the 1-3 weeks per location route. Can't wait. Dude, email me. I want to hear like what rig you're going to do and that kind of stuff. Let me know if you want to talk about internet. I got suggestions. None of them good, but I can tell you all about Starlink. I can tell you about Verizon. I can tell you about all the other kind of ISP stuff. Anyway, we should talk about that. Katie2RDH says, I want to do a motorcycle road trip from New Jersey to Florida any time of year. Stupid job always gets in the way. Dude, someone was selling a Harley in town, and it was a decent deal on a full dress Harley. And I haven't had a bike in years. I had a bike in my 20s, laid it down in front of a woman in a station wagon because she thought that she needed to murder me, and never got one again after that. And now that we're out here in the middle of nowhere, not middle of nowhere, but we don't have the traffic and stuff. I'm like, okay, it's safe to get a bike out here. It won't be as bad. I can go tool around. But the wife had made me promise, like, she's like, don't get a motorcycle until the kids are out of the house and on their own. And I'm like, but then I saw this bike for sale. I'm like, okay, I could buy it now and then sit on it. It'll be vintage by then. Trying to justify it. The next day, some poor schmuck got creamed by a tourist. And I don't believe he made it. And our prayers to him and his family. But yeah, that ruined that wife's like, hell's no. So, and yeah, it's just, till the kids are gone. And anyway, any recommendation for a handheld vacuum? Think old Dustbuster style. My Shark is dying. Shark is what I was going to say. Shark is the best budget. I mean, the Dyson ones are nice. They're stupid expensive. You could, if you want a real budget, check out the Hoover and Dirt Devil stuff over on Direct Tools because they're all owned by TTI. But Shark is in fact, my wife is just like, I want another Shark steam cleaner. I had Dysons for a while, switched to Shark, never went back. Canada has fires and smoke now. Yeah, they sent a bunch of it down here. Which platform would you do for full-time RV? Platform. Are you talking internet or are you talking like rig? So we had a Class A. I grew up with traveling with my grandparents every summer. We'd go they lived in Arizona. My father lived in Arizona. My mother and that side of the family was in Iowa. And the summer they'd come and get me in an RV and we'd drive out to Arizona, and then before school they'd bring me back. So I did a lot of road trips. I've done road trips in Airstreams, bumper pull trailers, not bumper pull, but standard pull camping trailers, Class C's, back when it was totally okay to let them ride the kids ride up top, and Class A's. And myself, I've owned a Class A. I had a 33-foot beautiful Class A, and then we got rid of that because anywhere you go, you want to be able to then like park it and just leave it. And now it's, if you're just a couple, you can get a small car or Jeep or something. Jeeps are usually good for it, that you can then tow behind and go. But we're a family, so we needed something bigger, and that just wouldn't work. So we flipped it and we were going to get a fifth wheel, which was the reason we bought the truck that we have. But ultimately, we just realized that we were going to use our trailer more as a destination trailer and less as a full-time live-in kind of trailer on the road. I would recommend it, if it's just gonna be you and your wife, you can get away with the Class A. Class A's are fabulous. You pull up, you set things down, they're gorgeous. You don't have to do anything really. They're just fantastic. If you're gonna be with anybody else or you really want livable space, get a fifth wheel. Fifth wheels, I got tons of friends who have fifth wheels. They're glorious. When we don't have to go down to Vegas anymore, we're going to sell the trailer we got and get a smaller but more luxurious fifth wheel. They don't have the same aesthetic appeal as a traditional camp trailer does for me, but as far as livability, they're hard to beat. And then you have your truck, you can drive anywhere you want. And we're experiencing some data downtime here. If you're getting, my bandwidth is jumping all over the place, I apologize. Hey, just seen you mention that you're from northern Kentucky. I'm from Silver Grove near Alexandria. I'm not from there. I lived in the area for 10 years, but that's cool. I've been thinking about going back. I want to go do like the Whiskey Trail kind of stuff and do some of that. I love that area. It's absolutely beautiful. I might still have a warrant out for me, but maybe they probably won't recognize me, right? Bear, don't forget to look out for a good road car video camera. I need one, and so does everyone in California. Are you talking about dash cams? I did get a new camera. I busted out and I bought the new Insta360, which is this camera here. And it's like a GoPro. In fact, I can show you a GoPro. Possibly. Here it is. Well, where's my other one? What did I do with my other GoPro? It's around here somewhere. Anyway, this is a GoPro. It's got a cage around it, so it's not really that big. This part right here is the cage. So it's actually that size. And it's pretty much the exact same identical size as this. A little taller, I guess. Well, that might actually just be the cage around it. Anyway, this has got, and I know I think some of the new GoPros have, it has the flip up screen on it and everything else. But then it also has this part where this comes out. And it's got full image stabilization. And then I'm going too far. There we go. If you can focus on that, then this, even though it's not connected, in fact, I can even show you the camera I'm using right now is an Insta360. Their webcam, the stream, the live, the sling, I don't remember what it's called. It's their webcam. So I've become a huge fan of Insta360. So if you're looking for road trip kind of stuff, I would get something like this. If you're talking about dash cams, I was just talking about dash cams. There's going to be a whole bunch in the live stream. On Tuesday. I can tell you that. All right. Let's see here. Battery or plug-in. I think I missed. Oh, you're talking about the vacuums. All right. Let me try and catch up here. I know I'm getting behind. Don't forget Branson with the direct tools. We went to Branson 2 years ago, and I know the wife would like to go to Branson, but again, it's one of those places where I kind of feel bad about going without the kids. Kids absolutely love Branson. They want to go back in the summer. I took them to their first dinner theater, and I told them about dinner theater, and they always thought I was kind of silly, and that's some old man stuff. They had a blast. Elle actually was in the show. So I would feel bad about going to Branson without them. Although we can definitely find a direct tools to go to. In fact, on my list. There's a list you can send me of places you think I should stop. But like, I'm gonna go to a Northern Tool. We're gonna go to hopefully like go to a Menards, and there was a couple other stores I was trying to think of that I need to go to. I could do store walkthroughs that I haven't been to in years. The moonshine. I went to that moonshine store and I did the whole thing, the whole fleet of tastings there. That was a lot of fun. Mayor says, every time I ride, I keep my head on a swivel. People in cages are trained assassins. Freaking morons is what they are. You know what? And if you drive an RV, especially Class A, you will learn also how much truckers hate people in cars, because they're just so rude to people in big vehicles. Neil says, any suggestions on carbide burrs for die grinders? Looking for something above Warrior but below Mac. No, I can't name a brand off the top of my head. I think I just ordered stuff off of Amazon last time, and they did fine. I was happy with them, but I don't remember what the name of the brand was that I got. Anthony says, Data Tools, what's up? Between last week's sales and this week, I was able to save $8,000 between Home Depot, Harbor Freight, and Amazon purchases. That's awesome. That is awesome. And the sales have been ridiculous. And I got to tell you, I think a lot of it is these companies are worried that there's going to be a downturn in the economy, and they're just trying to get as much money now as they can. We're looking at a real issue here. So for those of you who don't know, so, the Fed keeps raising interest rate, which is cooling the housing market, and the housing market, then leads to a lot of other stuff. But here's the deal. Part of this, because everyone's so worried, everyone's been postponing any long-term vacation planning. Airbnb's revenue has dropped off a cliff. It's fallen by like 50%. Now, understand that may not be a big deal to you, but there's a lot of people who speculated, bought houses, and they're fully leveraged, like to the gills. And I know people who've got like 20 houses that they leverage, and they leverage one house and the next house and the next, and they're all Airbnbs. Well, guess what? Now they don't have any bookings for the next 6 months. Now people are still booking last minute, but they're not booking as much, and they can't, and they're like, if the stream, they can't sit back and be like, okay, we're good. They're constantly working for the bookings now. And if it falls off at any second, they're dead meat and they're going to have to sell. Well, any kind of bump to the economy, and people will cancel anything, all their vacation plans. And guess what? All those houses that are sitting in Airbnb, I know in my town, it is next to impossible to buy a house, because the second it goes on the market, somebody snaps it up and turns it into an Airbnb. Big problem in all of Montana. Well, the economy takes any kind of hiccup, those all end up on the market, and the housing market is flooded. Right now, we have an issue where the work truck market is flooded. They can't sell new work trucks. They can't sell used work trucks. Why? Because there's a slowdown in the housing market. So no one's buying trucks to then build houses. It's all interconnected, and it just takes one hiccup, and we're going to see a huge downturn. So anyway, Branson in the summer is miserable, hot, and humid. If the weather's half decent, going between Christmas and New Year's can actually be fun. And let's see here. Let's see here. David says, find Runnings if you can. Runnings was one of the ones I was thinking about. I wanted to check out a lot of the regional farm and ranch store kind of places, stuff like the regional Tractor Supply kind of places. That's what we wanted to check out. And let's see here. All right, so you guys are all talking. So we're going to take, oh wait, Anthony Benetti, welcome DOT Councilman Anthony. That's awesome. Thank you. We used to have a bell, but we don't do that anymore. So I was booking hotels. I already booked the hotel in Fargo. So let's go over, where was I? We can do this with me. But where'd it go? There we go. Chicago. All right. The Swiss Hotel looks nice. but it's only got double beds, and two double bed is not gonna work for me. Let's see, the Hyatt down in Hyatt Centric, Michigan, Magnificent Mile, downtown Chicago. I want to take them someplace kind of fancy, someplace kind of nice. So we'll take a look at that one. The Hampton Inn. That's gonna be a hard pass. Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll view and map. How about that? So view and map. Let's add the filter. We want 4-star and better. Trust me, if it's just me traveling, I stay in. If it's just me traveling, I only stay in motels. I want a 2-star motel. I can pull up, park right in front of my room, go in, crash. But when I'm traveling with the wife and kids, we like to make it a little bit nicer for them. I love motels. I wish motels would make a comeback. I think motels are so underappreciated. A good motel. I stayed at one in Boulder City when I was down there last, and the only thing it was lacking was it didn't have a pool. That sucked. It just needed a pool to be perfect. It was clean rooms, had a real mid-century modern meets Route 66 vibe. It was great. People were super nice. Had actual keys to the room, and it was comfortable and it worked. And they had a big screen TV, like a 65-inch screen TV that they still managed to incorporate in the room and make it look nice. All right, so I know the daughter really wants to do Navy Pier, but I'm not staying out on Navy Pier. I like to stay down like near the theater district around the river down there. What's this one? 173, the Hyatt Regency in Chicago. That actually isn't a bad one. What else? I'd like to give them a river view kind of thing. What else we got down here? What's this one? Oh, the Renaissance. This one's cool. It's got this little, I don't know if you can see it there. It's got this little level at the Chicago River. For those of you who don't know, Chicago is actually built. It's like the first Chicago sank into the swamp. It's built on a marsh. It's at the bottom end of Lake Michigan. It's a swamp. And the first Chicago sank into the swamp. The second Chicago sank into the swamp. The third Chicago burned, fell over, fell down, sank into the swamp. All right, that's a movie reference. But anyway, the Chicago's built on several sub levels. There's at least one or two depending on what area of Chicago you're in. Let me do this. Let me move the chat so I can see the chat and everything else. Oh, that chat is small. I need a bigger secondary TV or monitor. Maybe what if I pop out the chat and do this? Can I, oh, right there, I can blow it up. That's better. All right. Bear with me while I figure out what I'm doing here. All right. Fleet Farm is another great one. I get a lot of people send me a lot of deals from Fleet Farm. It's just hard for me to verify deals and stuff. Some of these places I've never been to. Neil says, so glad I waited to buy a new truck till a few months ago. F350 XLT 4x4 Power Stroke. Wanted one during COVID, but didn't want to pay a sticker. Neil, that's awesome. I mean, you did buy a Ford, so no. I tease people think like, oh, I'm just a Ram guy. I do have a Ram, a 1-ton Ram, but the wife has a Ford Excursion XLT, the one that's the size of a Suburban, and then our backup third vehicle is a Suburban. So I've got a GM, Ford, and a Chrysler product. And then my fun car is a BMW, so I'm brand agnostic. Just fun to tease people. Let's see here. The good motels rent by the hour. Chaka, too much. Sin, Renaissance have a happy hour and free breakfast too. Now, I will say Renaissance and Holiday Inn Express, I don't mind them. I don't mind them. I still breakfast. They get the little cinnamon rolls. Those are good. Matthew says, if you need a better second monitor, I hear Prime Days are coming. What I need is, so I've got a 55-inch Fire TV that is 4K, UHD, the whole 9 inch. That's my main monitor right now. I'm on a desk that is about, where's my tape measure? What did I do with my tape measure? Some fool walked off. No, I probably have it. It's right here in front of me. I think it's 36 inches deep. And it's 36 inches deep. So it's super deep. So I have it's sitting back from me about 2.5 feet. It's still very big, but what I need like a 24-inch monitor that rotates. And I want to put one, actually I want two. I want one on that side, one on that side in the vertical position. So I can like leave my email open in here, have separate windows over here. I have my laptop. Laptop's going away. It's going to become just a travel laptop. We got a PC on order. It's going to be here any day now. But the screen with my eyes on the laptop is really small, really hard for me to see. So I'll have the main monitor eventually and then the two vertical monitors. The Chicago always seems cool. So many different ways to die. I'll tell you what, as soon as I cross the river, I love driving over the Mississippi. It's gorgeous. But as soon as I cross the river into Illinois, I just get, I feel anxious because their two-way laws restrict my ability to exercise my constitutional rights. And best part of Illinois is the state line on the way out. That's how I feel. Let's see here. Matthew says, in Chicago, check out Lao Tse Shung restaurant in Chicago, Chinatown. What their 3 years ago was fantastic. All right. We'll add that to the list. Mater says, Wyndham hotel chains are nice to stay at and offer good rewards. They do. So I use hotels.com. And the reason I use hotels.com is I basically get 10% back. It used to be every 10 trips you did, every 10 nights, you got a free night. And then they assigned a dollar value. Basically, it's 10%. You basically get 10% back as free rewards. So it doesn't matter if I stay at a Renaissance or a Hilton or Marriott, I still get rewards. And it just makes it super easy. Anyway, so let's see what the Hyatt has to offer here. Hyatt says, well, that's a crummy little pool, looks like. Let's see what the rooms look like. 2 queen beds, that'll work. $198. Includes taxes and fees. So that's basically $200, $400. That's not terrible. Wait, what? $132 in taxes and fees? What is this, Vegas? That's insane. If you guys don't understand, Vegas has these resort fees. You may say, like, the room's only $50 a night. Yay. $150 in resort fees. Boo. Let's see what the Hyatt has here. There's the Hyatt. Nice river view. How much is this? They get $100 in taxes and fees. Is it just, oh, here we go. Price. Look at price details here. So taxes and fees. They don't break it down to what is taxes and what's fees. Premium room, 2 queen beds, lake view. Boy, that looks just boring. And the Renaissance. Now, I almost booked at the Renaissance before. It's okay. It's not terrible. $728. That's a bit much for 2 nights. All right. So those 2 are out. We'll keep the Hyatt in here. Let's keep looking. What else we got? How about some? Oh, here we go. We got your 252 here. Where's it? The Sheraton Riverwalk. There's a 5. That's $150 in fees. No, I'm not staying there. What we got? 133 here. The Intercontinental on the Magnificent Mile. IGH. $400. Let me see. What do these rooms look like? Maybe we'll stay at the Intercontinental. Always makes me think of, whatchamacallit. What's that? gung fu movie. The oh boy, I'm drawing a blank on that. Where he's the assassin who's always getting chased by the other assassins. Um, Illinois raised a bunch of interstate speed limits to 70 a number of years ago, so it doesn't take quite so. Thank goodness for that. As somebody who's in a state where the speed, that's funny because I was gonna say I'm in a state where the speed limit is 80, and we really don't believe in speed traps. On top of that, but I've taken like some pictures and posted them, and you'll see like I'm doing like 82 miles an hour, and people just screech. I can't believe you're speeding and driving that fast. Can't believe you're going. I'm like, dude, not every state has 55 as a speed limit. Come out west. I'm glad to see Illinois catching up with some of us. Judged by 12, not carried by 6, brother. You got that right. Chicago needs funds. Chicago needs a new mayor. Neil says, don't travel much for work. I remember that, but you used to be able to keep the reward points. That was awesome. Nice little benefit there. Wings and pizza in the house. Free bulletproof vest with all rooms. No, that's extra. That boring room, 350 was the size of my first apartment in college. I shared an apartment that size at one point. Oh my gosh. When I first moved to Indy, I think I had a studio. It was on the 14th floor of a high rise. I thought it was the coolest dude in town. I mean, it was, but still. I have canceled trips because of excess fees and taxes. It's theft. John Wick, wings and pizza. Thank you. John Wick does us anything gift. I hate I think it should be against the law to charge fees that are on top. I'm like, then it's not a fee. It's the price. Taxes I get. Fees? No. Unless the fee is optional, then it's part of the price. Embassy Suites has free booze and breakfast. Embassy Suites is fantastic. I remember as a kid first going to Embassy Suites for the first time and thinking that this must be the most expensive, hotel on earth. The first trip my wife and I took, we stayed in Embassy Suites. She'd never been to one before. She grew up, I don't want to say poor, but not well off. And we got to the buffet and they had all you can eat bacon, and she thought she had gone to heaven. And then half an hour later, she was regretting the bacon choices she made. She ate way too much bacon. And yet somehow I-70 in Indiana always seems worse for traffic. You know what really bums me out about Chicago is that if you've been around Chicago, they have these things called an oasis. They have these toll roads, and to keep you from having to get off the toll road, they have these stops that they're like bridges that go over the highway, and there's like a food court and an area to relax and restrooms and all this other stuff and little shopping areas in these highway oases. And they even have them on the Skyway on the South Chicago. The Skyway in South Chicago is like sometimes 100 feet in the air going over neighborhoods and stuff. And then in the middle of the Skyway, you've got an oasis. And it's surreal. It's like something out of Blade Runner or something like that. We stopped at one with the kids, and they thought it was the coolest thing ever. Apparently, they're going away. That's tragic. Get an Elwood Blues special to save money. Intergalactic Planetary. That's what I think of with the Intercontinental. Now I got that going in my head. Also, Hampton Inns have free booze and breakfast. All you need is a bed. Who cares what the room is like? For me, I'm definitely that way. And the missus she just wants it to be comfortable and clean. But in fact, if I left it up to her, we would be staying at some budget thing on the edge of town. She won't spend money. I like to spend money on her because she won't do it herself. As long as the room is bug-free and clean, Embassy Suites are really pretty reasonable. They are. Usually, in most cases, they are. So we're looking at the Intercontinental here. And that's an okay room. One twin bed. That doesn't look like a twin bed to me. Sleeps 4 with one twin bed. Pass. 2 double beds. Premium room. Here we go. Premium room, two double beds. Double beds, double beds. 1 king bed. All right, this might work. We got a king bed here with a living area, and if that couch falls out, oh, they're sold out. Well, so much for the intercontinental ballistic pile of... Anyway, let's keep going here. What's this over here? Oh, Embassy Suites. Look at that. And it's $480. Well, looks like that's about what the price range is going to be. Embassy Suites says, come on. Got a lap pool. Not we're going to spend any time in the pool. Let's see here. 1 king bed with sofa bed, non-smoking, $425. Free breakfast, sleeps 4, non-refundable, fully refundable, $480. That might be the way we're going. Free breakfast. I mean, when you think about it, breakfast for 4, because we're meeting Duncan in Indiana, so it's just the 4 of us driving out. Breakfast for 4, even if we spent $10 each, that's $40, and you're not going to spend $10 each in Chicago, so that might be a reasonable choice. And if it's like any other one, they're suites, so you have the separate room, which is nice for the missus and myself. You're going to get some Chicago-style pizza pie. I love deep dish, and I know this whole trend of people in Chicago don't eat, that's for the tourists. It's weird because I've been in suburban Chicago and there are deep dish pizza places all over. I'm a Eduardo's fan myself. The stuffed spinach and sausage is amazing, but as such, it's not just for the tourists. But I do love. It's my favorite kind of pizza is the deep dish. Matthew says, stopped at those Oasis when moving from Milwaukee to New York. Bought my toll pass there. New York has similar service centers on the thruway. Futon says, I stayed at IHG a lot. They have good service compared to Hilton and Marriott. Larry says, I made some homemade rice pudding. That sounds awesome. You put raisins in it? Gotta put raisins in it. It's delicious, not that great at the same time. Taste is perfect, texture is too thick. Life could be worse. I like it on the thicker side. I know. I like it where you can actually almost have to slice it. And that's my preference. Are you going to get some, we talking about that? Sent you a message via Facebook Messenger. Awesome. If you go to Chicago, just watch out for a certain old tech guy and his sidekick Jay. I think it'll be all right. Third Soul Garage says Lou Mantis is one of my favorites. All right, so we're going to keep Embassy Suites here. And then we got to figure out where we're going. Hold on, let me do this. Trying to figure out, I have this feeling like I want to do Nashville. We like country music. I like all sorts of music, but I like country music a lot. And it just seems like fun area to be in. Let's bring this back up here. That's is it. There we go. So we're going to Indiana. And we're going to be over near Fort Wayne, just north of Fort Wayne. Dropping the kids off. And my original plan had been to go up the coast and go to like Saugatuck. Saugatuck's one of my favorite little artsy fartsy towns to go and hang out in. Saugatuck's got some cool stuff. But the missus is thinking more she wants like a city kind of vacation. So then we were talking about doing New York. And that's a hell of a drive to New York. Let's see here. From Fort Wayne. You're from here to New York. Come on. Stop that. Nope. All right. Let me drag that. There we go. 10 hours. That's a 10-hour drive. I don't know about you. I don't know. Let's see what it is to Nashville. Well, let me pull it over here. I know I'm not in Nashville. I'm working on it. Whoa, too much zoom, dude. Too much zoom. All right, that's Knoxville. Let's take it over to Nashville. See, 5 hours and 50, a 6-hour drive. That's kind of drive. I can do that in a day. Get up in the morning, do the drive. What if we swing through Cincinnati? There, 7 hours. Swing through Cincinnati, even if I have to go through Dayton. Swing through Cincinnati, check out a few places, say hi to some people, head on down to Nashville. See, I like the idea of that. I used to date a girl who ran the Sheraton in Philly. She could do this thing. Gatlinburg. Yeah, I know what I talked about doing Gatlinburg. It's one of those places where, like, Nashville's the kind of place you go out, go to bars, hang out, listen to country music. It's an adult kind of thing. Gatlinburg, I'd want to take the kids. Going back home again in Indiana. This live should be called The Day of the Life of the Bear. Ever have Miss Wick's sugar cream pie? For those who don't, I've had sugar cream pie and I can't do it. It is like crack pie. It is just pure sugar. It's making me vibrate just thinking about it. It is too much. I'm sure you people love it. I am not. I don't even like sweet potato pie. I think it's too. I'm a pumpkin pie guy. Pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread, pumpkin pie. I can do an apple pie. I was going to say something about somebody I used to know that maybe used to make apple pies for me, but my wife might be watching from home, so we're not going to talk about that. Don't go to New York. Just don't. It's not worth it, especially these days. You know, that's what also I was worried about, is that it's been a long time since I've been to New York, and I've heard like lots of places are shuttered and the places just, yeah. If you go to Cincy, you have to go to Jungle Gyms. I used to live in Cincy, so I've been to Jungle Gyms a bunch. The wife went with the kids. They were going to a family funeral in West Virginia, and they had to fly in Cincinnati. So she wanted to make it a little vacation. So they spent 2 days in Cincinnati, then went to West Virginia for a few days, then came back, spent 2 more days in Cincinnati, and they went to Jungle Gyms, and she absolutely raves about the place to this day. Absolutely raves about it. That and whatchamacallit, Waffle House. Kids like, we went to Waffle House and the manager was outside fighting with a homeless person. It was just like on TikTok. I'm like, it's Waffle House. You don't need to say it. It's assumed. Oh, let's see here. Neil says, gotta run, guys, but don't forget to give a thumbs up. Thank you so much, sir. You have a good one. New York also not friendly to remote people. No, yeah, not friendly is an understatement. You can stop in Bowling Green and see the hole in the ground. I have been to Bowling Green more than a few times. Come here to the Steel City. It's a nice time this time of year on the Three Rivers. Wings and Pizza trying to get me to go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. I kid. I've been to Pittsburgh a bunch, actually. I like Pittsburgh. It's a nice town, but for me, it's like going to Pittsburgh is just like going to Cincinnati. There's not much of a difference. Waffle House. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit some Waffle House. I'm gonna go to White Castle. It's gonna be awesome. I don't understand why Waffle House is open during daylight hours. It felt weird anytime I was there that wasn't 2 a.m. True story. All right. So anyway, I think we're gonna have to cut the live stream short at this point because I have to finish booking hotels, and then I've got to go home and take care of the missus, who is not feeling well. So that's why she's not here. We need a Waffle House in San Francisco. The food at Sonic is terrible. The drinks are great. But my gosh, Waffle House in and or White Castle would crush it in San Francisco. Are you kidding? All the millennials staying out late, partying every weekend. They would absolutely massacre a Waffle House. Here in Texas, our Waffle Houses don't get that bad. Still need to make it down to Texas. Probably not end of July, beginning of August. Probably not the place to be. Anyway, that's all for me today. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.